Hello, Internet. It's me, Stevie-Jane Aucoin. And you're coming off the blockchain with me, it sounds like. So, thank you for hanging out. I am hanging out with HEX MAC today, and he should be popping in shortly. And I'm really excited to get to know him and, yeah, talk to another Hexican. We spoke to Steak last time, and he is amazing. And hopefully we have another good chat with a fellow Hex member. So yeah, I don't really know what to do until that happens though. So we'll just chill. I don't know if anybody's watching this, but if you comment, it should come up here, and then you can talk to me, and I will talk to you. But whatever. Okay. I hope everyone's having a great weekend, though. It is Saturday, just after 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where I am in Ontario, Canada. And it's actually really nice today. It was like 29 degrees Celsius. And yeah, just a really nice day for September. Awesome. Hi, how are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Thank you so much for coming to hang out with me tonight.
No
So I'm
problem.
already live. Just I
Oh,
didn't really know
sweet.
what I was doing, and I'm like, okay, well that happened, and now it's happening.
No,
So
that's all good. I'm pretty much ready to go. I'm just making sure that I've got my headphones right and I've got my mic right. I
yeah,
think my mic's right. You can hear me like nice and clearly. My webcam has
yeah,
like
I can't.
a mic in it too, so I think I got the right one. But yeah, sweet. How you
Perfect.
going?
I'm good. Thank you so much. Well, so good morning to you. You said it's like 9 a.m. where you are. Is that right?
Yeah, it's about 9:15 here where I am right now.
Nice, nice. It's just after 7 here, so you
Lovely,
should tell us how
lovely.
the future is.
Are you enjoying your Saturday evening?
Yeah, I am. I am so far.
Yeah.
So, um, yeah. So I guess we'll get started. So I sent you the list of questions. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So let's start with number one. So, do you want to introduce yourself and explain to everybody who you are?
Sure. I'm Hex Mac. Um, I'm a Hexican. I've been in crypto since 2017. So I was here before Hex began and Hex started and was the thing. Um, I found out about Hex kind of like 6 months or so before it launched. So I've been here for like 3 years, deeply involved with the community, building,
Oh, wow.
working, doing all that kind of thing. But yeah, outside of that, I'm like a 31-year-old. I'm financially free. Um, I do my own thing. Crypto is
That's amazing.
yeah, crypto is my life at the minute. I'm sure that that'll change at some point, but for now, the focus is just building out generational wealth and doing all that, doing all
That's
that kind of
awesome,
stuff.
though. Like,
What,
who
what,
at
what
31
most
can
people
say
are not.
that?
Yeah, most. I was literally just about to say most people aren't thinking about that at this time and
Yeah.
this age. So
No.
I'm I'm very blessed and I'm very lucky to be in the place that I'm in.
That's awesome. So, um, you've done really well, it sounds like. Is there any like advice that you have for someone like me who's just like literally kind of beginning their journey?
Yeah. So what I would kind of say is like you have to like figure out what you want out of life. I think that's a big like part of things because most people never figure out where they want to end up. Like a lot
Okay.
of people just let life kind of take them wherever it's
Yeah,
going to go.
Jesus
But
take the wheel kind of thing.
yeah, exactly. But like if you set yourself like some, long-term goals that you can kind of work towards, then at least every day you have something where it's like, oh, I can look forward to this. Oh, I can get excited about this. Oh, I can make, an increment. And it doesn't have to be like a 10% thing or a 20% thing. You can just get better like
Yeah.
1% every day. And if you get like 1% better every day in a year, you're like 3.5 times where you were, you know, a year previously. So you've got to have some like long-term goals, and then also you have to have
Mhm.
And this doesn't happen like at the beginning of the process. This will happen later on. But like I think you've got to like the first thing you've got to do is decide where you want to go,
Yeah.
and then the
And
next
have
step is
that
obviously
like end point.
yeah, figuring out how to get there. Because then you can like once you figure out like the end point, then you can kind of like reverse engineer everything backwards and be like, oh, okay, if I want to be here, then I need to do this here. If I want to be here, then I need to do these things here in the present right now. And then what you're doing now will like eventually bleed off into the future, and you'll be a lot closer to where you want to be than if you never set up that initial like, oh, I've got to end up here kind of thing. So for me, like what I did a few years ago was just set my bar at
Yeah.
like, okay, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to be the healthiest version of myself, the wealthiest version of myself, you know, doing things that I love and enjoy with people that I care about. Those are my like that's when my bar is set, and that those things never have an end to them, really. Like your best self, like where's the end point of that? It's a very like you're
Yeah,
always
right?
striving towards something better.
Open-ended. I love that.
Yeah, yeah. It's
Yeah.
not like a, oh, at 50 I need to have $250 million. It's like a, oh, at at 50 I want to be still the best version of myself, the highest version of myself. Pretty much that. So if
No,
you
that
set
makes
the
so much
your
sense. Yeah.
yeah, you set the bar at that kind of thing, then it's like an open-ended, like things can take you in unexpected directions, which is kind of cool as well because it's just it's open. But at least you have that bar set there for like, okay, I want the best for myself. I basically want the best for
Yes.
myself,
Yeah.
and I'm
Like this
happy
is
to
the
let
standards of what I want my life to be.
absolutely, and like the universe
Yeah.
can like let that play out however it wants to play out. We don't really have as much control over that stuff as I think we do. But if you at least set the bar for those kinds of things, then you're in the right frame of mind already. Best self, highest self. You can't really go wrong with that stuff. And it pulls up everyone around you. Like it really does. Like if you've set that mentality for yourself, people can
Yeah.
feel that around you and they get drawn up into it too. And then you all go on this like shared adventure together. It's pretty cool stuff.
I love that. All rise
Yeah.
together, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Bring up
That's
everyone
amazing.
around you while you're doing it.
Right?
Some
I
people
feel
won't.
like all that like yeah.
No, no, please,
And
please,
and
please
I
go
feel
on
like
with that
that's
thought.
because like how it was right? It was always like you have to step on people to get ahead, but I don't think that's true. I feel
No,
like you can get ahead by help like you can still be kind and help others around you and accept help from others, and that's okay.
absolutely. It needs to be
So,
like a mutual and reciprocal, like if you have people, and this will happen the longer that you go on that journey of like higher self and stuff like that. Unfortunately, there's always going to be some people that like you have to let go because they don't want to head towards their highest self. They want to stay where they are, and that's cool. It's totally cool. Like it's not a, oh, I have to leave you behind or whatever kind of thing. It's more like a, that's your choice and that's your path, and you're going to take your path and do your thing, and I can love and respect that. This is my path though, so like our paths are naturally going to diverge at some point, and that's cool. That's okay. That's
yeah,
part of life, but not everyone will come with you on that
absolutely.
journey. Yeah, it
No. And
sometimes
I
that
know
journey is
exactly
just
what you
you.
mean.
Yeah,
Exactly. And you're absolutely right. Like it's not like a ending the friendship or anything. It's like I'll be up here and when you're ready, come join me, you know?
that's
So
right.
and
That's
sometimes
right.
they never make
Absolutely.
it, but sometimes they do.
Yeah, and you can still hang out, like you can still go for a drink, you can still like go and do all that fun stuff with those people, but
Exactly.
it's not like your lives are tethered together anymore. It's like, oh, okay, I'm gonna go off and do me, and you're gonna go off and do you, and we're both gonna have fun doing our thing, and that's kind of it.
Yeah. I
But as
feel
many
like we're
people that want to be there, help
yeah.
them, bring them up, bring them along. It's a fun ride together.
That's exactly why I started this show because, like I said, my friend, I'm very new. My friend got me into crypto recently,
Mhm.
and I just kind of like found that there's not really a lot of like introductory to the space kind of programs.
No,
It's like really overwhelming. Like, where do you even start? So, like I said,
absolutely.
Right? So I'm lucky enough to have found Hex really early on and be a part of
God,
that
yeah,
amazing
that's a blessing.
yeah. Yes, for sure. And like so the community's been like so helpful and so amazing. And yeah, and I feel like every bit of information that I'm learning, I want to share with other people because I really do think cryptocurrency is the future. And
Yeah,
maybe we're going through a little bit of a rough patch right now, but it's not going anywhere. And
nope.
I want to see where this future is going. I want to be a part of it. So
Yeah, I like. It's interesting because like I'm the same as you. Like, I want to bring as many people along as I can, and like speaking to my buddy about stuff, and he's still working and doing all that kind of thing, but like the focus wasn't so much on crypto for him, but like I just push and push and push and push and push. I'm like, you got to do this, man. You got to do this. Like, do this little
yeah,
thing. Show me that you're here and you want to be here. It's like, and then he's doing that kind of stuff, and like he said to me the other day, like, I'm not gonna miss out on this ride, man. Like, I'm coming with you on this ride. I was like, hell
exactly.
yeah,
And
man.
like
Hell
I
yeah.
know a lot of people have their doubts, and I think a lot of that is like being uneducated about like everything and understanding it fully. But you know what? There's like if I'm interested in a project from like here forward, there's nothing that's going to stop me from putting at least $100 in and seeing how that does. Like, you know what I
Absolutely.
mean?
I mean, look what
There's
happened with Bitcoin. If
right?
you had to put in $100 to Bitcoin at $1, you'd be free. You'd
Yeah.
be free right now, And like,
Oh, it's crazy.
okay, save the $100. Don't go out twice this week. Throw it into something and leave it and just sit there and watch it. Like, that's the crazy thing to me is that like once you really realize that like this is the space, like crypto is the space where you're going to get free. I don't think like there are other places and other ways to get free, but crypto seems to be like the biggest opportunity right now, at least from where I'm sitting. Like,
And it's like an opportunity that's available to everyone and not just like those
yes.
who are privileged or
Mhm.
who know someone or something like
If you
that.
want it
But
badly, yeah, if you want it badly enough in this space, you can make it. And it doesn't require a lot of like, not that it doesn't require a lot of effort, but like it doesn't require a lot of like money or capital. Like you
mhm,
can make lots of money with a very small amount of money here. And there's not a lot of other places around that you can do that same kind of thing. So I had
I
that
know.
realization and I was like, oh, I have to put all of my focus and attention into this thing. Like that's why I'm here at 9 o'clock. Like it's a Sunday morning for me. It's like I'm here and I'm like happy to be here. I'm like,
But
hell yeah, let's
yeah,
go.
Saturday night for me too, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Yeah.
yeah. This is like that's exactly right here, right now is exactly where I want to be. Like I have so much love for doing this thing that like I'm happy to share. I'm happy to like, I volunteered to be here to help. You get some eyes on your channel and do that
I
kind of
love
thing.
you.
So and
And look
just
at
spread the
we already
love.
have 2 viewers. Hello out there.
Welcome.
Thank you. Yeah, so I appreciate it so much. And like you said, like here
My
now
pleasure.
is the time, and I don't want to miss it.
Yeah, absolutely. And this opportunity, like it's here now, but it's not gonna be the same opportunity in 10 years or 20 years that we have now. There's always gonna be different opportunities, but when you really like see that, oh, okay, there is a real thing here, and I can change my life. Like where you can't go anywhere else. Like you have to put the focus here. You have to put the attention here.
Right? I know financial freedom. That's what we've wanted for hundreds of years. This is where we're
Yes,
finally, about to get it. So
and for our families as
it's
well
really
and our
exciting.
friends and everyone, like my parents, I want them to be just as financially free as I'm financially free, like it's a and for them they worked and they lived for 60 years without that kind of thing. So it's like, yeah, like this is a big deal. This is a massive deal right now.
Absolutely. So, and I feel like channels like this could really help people kind of introduce it to their family a little bit easier because I am definitely not like the sharpest tool in the shed or anything. I definitely need things broken down into a way that I can understand them. And that's how I plan to kind of regurgitate this information that I'm learning. So
Yes, through
I hope
teaching.
that I
Teaching is learning in a weird way. Like the ability to like say
absolutely.
all of this stuff clearly and effectively so that someone else can understand, that's a skill. And it takes time to develop that skill. But
Yeah.
you develop that skill by having conversations like this. And especially for other people to
Yeah.
see, like putting yourself out there in a public place and being able to speak publicly about that stuff, that helps you grow, as you're teaching and learning, you end up learning and teaching. Like it's a cool little cycle.
I know, right? It's really cool how like even just this short period of time where I feel like I myself have grown so much because I've taken on this responsibility where I feel like I'm going to help and teach others, right? So
Yes.
it's been really cool. It's been like a really fun experience. So
That's cool. So how
um
long have you been like have you been in like 6 months, a year, less?
not even I've been so like
Okay, cool.
cryptocurrency total maybe 3 months.
Wow,
And
okay, freshy.
yeah.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, yeah, very, very new. And,
Uh-huh.
not that I like just hearing about it or anything, like, I just
Yeah,
again, it was one of those things where I missed the first train, and then it was like I couldn't jump on. It was just moving too quickly. And then,
I
yeah,
understand.
and then I have a friend that has kind of taken some time and really helped me understand a lot of things, and yeah.
That's awesome. It's good that you
I
have
feel
someone
like being
around that like
pointed in the right direction is just like, yeah, the biggest amount of
yeah,
help.
yes, absolutely. Having someone that knows what they're doing to be able to like guide you, that's so underrated, man. Like imagine I just imagine it, like, I'm not sure how old you are, but, like, imagine if you had someone at
32.
18 that said, Here are the things that you need to do to be a successful human." Like, that's so underrated, man. I wish I had a mentor at that age that was, like, showing me what to do and guiding me and teaching me and, like, learning. Like, I had to become my own mentor in a lot of ways because there was just no one around at the time. So it's good that you have someone in your life that's, like, prepared to sit down with you and, like, show you that stuff and
Yeah,
be a good force.
yeah.
That's good. That's underrated.
I'm so appreciative for it for sure. And
Mhm.
like it's been a funny experience because like I'll ask questions and I know they're stupid questions. He's like, you know the answer to that. And I'm like, no. But
I
it's
think what
been
one of
really
the
fun and like sorry?
no, please continue.
Oh no, no, no. Continue. I was just saying it's been just like such a fun experience and like I feel like I've learned so much in such a short period of time. Um it's been a lot of consuming information, but it's been fun.
Yes, yes, a lot of, like, late hours and just cramming learning and knowledge in, yeah. I
Yep,
was just gonna
reading lots
say
of white papers.
yeah. I was gonna say, just having, like when you're starting out, like being able to find like a community or something to like attach yourself into. Like for the first like year or two I was into crypto, like I was just watching those YouTube influencers and they're talking about, oh, the next coin to 1,000x, the next coin to 100x, and it's all false promises and it's not like
Yeah.
actually investing. It's just, oh, well, let's catch the next thing that's going to happen. It's like
Or
you don't
whoever
learn about
pays us the most to talk about their coin and
that's right. That's right. That's right. And so
yeah.
like to find Hex straight away, you've already like you've come through all of the noise and the influencer crap and you've gone straight
Right?
to the source. Yeah, like
I know. I was kind of like parachuted down and didn't have to like
yeah.
trudge through all of that garbage.
That's
Just
good.
landed
That's good.
perfectly on the mat. It's just great.
You've saved yourself a long time, like a
Right?
long time and a lot of stupid information, basically. So you're in the right place.
Thank you.
That's the best way to start. Like if you're starting in the wrong place, then oh, you got some learning to do. But I had to go through that process
Right?
of
And
like,
I feel like that's where a lot of people get like discouraged too, because they're like, I'm not sure this is where I'm supposed to be. I'll just not get involved.
absolutely. Or I don't know where to go. Like, I don't know what the next step is. I don't know what the, like the thing to do next is to really get me to that
Yeah,
place that I
yeah.
need
It's
to
like, so I
be.
found a project I like, and now what?
Yes, and you don't know whether like how to analyze that to see whether it's good to like the founders, the tokenomics, any of that kind of stuff. You're just like, oh, I like this based on the feelings that I have about this thing, and it
Yeah,
once you
that's
go to
such a cute
the
little
deeper level.
Doge coin or whatever. Picture
Yeah,
of a Doge.
yeah,
Like, I love that
and then
thing.
yeah,
I'm gonna
then you
throw
get
my
like an
whiskey
emotion.
at
Yeah,
it.
you get
Please
an
tell me that's
emotional
not what
attachment to
he's
it. And it's like,
Yeah,
oh my God, when's this thing gonna pump? And then like 2 years go by and it doesn't pump, and you're like, oh, okay, like
right.
I gotta
Yeah.
find things that like, there's actually an investment thesis behind this. These things are producing like a passive yield or a passive income that it doesn't matter day in, day out if it doesn't pump. I'm still getting that like daily trickling of, yield into my thing, and that's building me up and doing my thing. So yeah, that's it. You've cut right through all of that. That's really good. I'm really glad to hear that.
I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Awesome. So, is there and one of my questions were teach me something new. Is there anything that like again, when you first started, if someone could have told you this at the beginning, it would have made a world of sense. Is there anything you can think of that you can share with me
Absolutely.
that
Yeah,
might
there's
break the
always
glass or
things.
something?
Yes. So I think having like there's a few things here. So everything in crypto is cyclical. So it works on these like generally it's a 4-year cycle, like, and that 4-year cycle has to do with like the Bitcoin halvening. Generally, I hope that we can move away from that in the future, but right now that's kind of how things are set up. So you have like and it can flip and change, but you have like a bull market that lasts a year or two, and then you have a bear market that kind of lasts a year or two, and it can be like it can change. So it can be like 3 years of bull, 1 year of bear, or it can be 3 years of bear, 1 year of bull.
Oh,
And they
okay.
they just flip
Interesting.
between these two things. But in every
Yeah.
cycle, you have this like massive run up to the top. One of the best things to do if you're in a position and you're in a coin is to take some kind of profits. You're like, and this is a hard thing because you want to hold on to your stack and you want to increase your stack and you want to do that kind of thing. But if you're like going full time into crypto and you know that you're going to be here for a long time and it's a thing that you're focused on, there's a deep level where it's like, okay, you take a profit right at the top if you can, top of the market during those market cycles. And if you take a profit at
Yeah.
the top, what happens is that like when you go to the bottom after the top happens, you can like rebuy your position and still have the profit that you've taken as well. So you end up like
Okay.
doing this little game of like, oh, like I buy right at the bottom and I buy a lot and then I sell just a small bit at the top and then I like recompound that back into itself. So it like
Okay.
you're taking profit, but at the same time you're also like buying back your position and buying deeper into your position.
It's almost
So
like
taking profit,
somersaulting is kind of how I'm
like
picturing it in my mind.
absolutely, it's like this loopy like
Yeah.
it's called swing trading, really. But it
Okay. Okay.
swing trading is something that like say that you got into crypto in 2017 and that's the bottom of the bear market there, or 2018, and then at the top like you're not trading in and out like constantly, but what you're doing is you're buying the low point of that cycle, and then when it gets to the
Mhm.
top you sell some, and then once it gets to the bottom again you just rebuy in what you sold, and it's like, and you can buy next, you can buy an extra there because you took
Yeah.
big profits at the top. So it becomes this game of like, and like this is a deeper strategy. This is like you'll come across this strategy after you've sat through like a cycle or two. But taking profits is a big deal. It's a big deal, and it feels weird to do it. Some people have been in for like multiple cycles, two or three cycles, and still find it hard to take profits and do that kind of thing. So taking profits is a big one. but like having some strategies like set out for yourself, I think is probably the best thing. Like taking profits is a strategy, right? Another strategy is like how you enter your positions. Like, okay, say you're going to buy $5,000 worth of something. How are you going to get that $5,000 into the positions that you want? Like you can, there's a couple of strategies. You can do something called dollar cost averaging, where you buy over a certain period of time and you say, okay, I'm going to do $500 every month for the next 6 months. And then like on that day and that time, I'm just going to buy. But that strategy is better in the bear market, obviously, than the bull market. So there's nuances with those things. But having a strategy for entering your positions, so how you're going to buy and how frequently you're going to buy and what you're going to do to get your position in, and then having strategies on the other end for how you're going to exit those positions out. So like, okay, when am I going to sell? Because that's one of the hardest things. If you already have in your mind though, like, okay, at this price point, I'm going to sell $5,000 worth of this thing. And like when that price point happens and that thing, you just do it. Like there's no ifs, there's no maybes, there's no buts. It's just a like, pull the trigger. Well,
what if we wait a little longer?
Yeah. Because that's what happens. So people get greedy, and then they miss their opportunity. And it's like, oh man. And then they look back 2 or 3 months later and they're like, oh man, if I just had have done that and I just had sold that at the time, then I would be better off right now. But I didn't, because I got weird emotionally or greedy. And then that screws things up. So knowing what your strategy is before it happens is a good thing. Because then you can just go, okay, I did it. I took the profit. I did the thing that I needed to do. And whatever happens, now at least I have the profit there. And I can do something with it. I can either rebuy my bags when it dumps and it goes to the bottom or whatever. But like having like solid strategies for how you're getting your money in, how you're getting your money out, how you're going to manage that money while it's there. Because like that's still a game as well. Like, if you put your money into a coin, for me, I want that coin to be yielding something. I want that coin to be giving me more of that coin and doing more for me as it's just sitting there and I'm holding. So there's deep layers to this stuff, and you'll learn all of that over time. And it just kind of happens naturally. It kind of happens when it happens, that learning. But
just like wake up one morning and you're like, it makes sense now.
Yeah, it does. It really, like, it's weird, but it does. It just takes some time of like watching is a big thing too. Like, not that you have to sit and look at charts all day or anything like that, but like, like watching how the chart is playing out over time is like, okay, you look at the chart now, you look at the chart in a month's time, you see the different levels that you're at. That kind of like, you learn these things, and whether it's like I'm going to go and learn technical analysis, or I'm just going to learn intuitionally, it's kind of up to everyone to decide and figure out for themselves. I'm not a TA person personally. Like, I don't draw lines on charts. I don't do any of that kind of stuff. My strategy for a lot of stuff, and this is some alpha here. So like, this took me a while to figure out, but like, you want to get involved with projects as early as you possibly can. Like,
so like get the sacrifices.
Yeah. Like if you've been in the sacrifices, you're already like set up for Pulse and Pulse X. But for those people that aren't, like, those first 1 to 3 months are going to be so important in terms of like acquiring a bag, getting a bag, holding a bag, knowing then what to do with that bag. Because like for Pulse Chain, you're going to be able to delegate your pulse to a validator and earn some kind of yield on it. I'm not sure what kind of yield, but with Pulse X, you can like do single-sided staking on Pulse X and earn some kind of yield as you're doing that. So getting a giant bag early, like as much as you can, as early as possible, and then just sitting on that for as long as you possibly can. I think that's a really underrated strategy that people aren't. It took me like probably 2 or 3 years to figure just that out. Like, oh, okay, you want to really do well, you want to capture the most of the opportunity, you've got to be there day one. You got to know that this thing is launching, that this thing is coming, that it's going to be a a decent project with decent people behind it. If you can get into those kinds of things, man, you're gonna win, and you're gonna win big in this space. So some like the opportunity right now is obviously Pulse Chain and Pulse X and everything that you can do to prepare for that over the next, like go work extra shifts, go do extra things to get more money, have that money set up and ready to go for Pulse Chain and
Ready to
Pulse X.
go, right?
Yeah, that'll be life changing in like 2 to 5 years for people. Absolutely life changing.
That's amazing. So I just want to pause for 1 second and shout out to Chris Side Effects. He says, "Hey Mac."
Yo, what's up, Side Effects?
Thank you. How's it going? So I just couldn't let him go unnoticed there because he is amazing and he put a bunch of comments. So that's awesome.
Yeah, what's up, Side Effects? Side Effects is one of my boys.
That's awesome. You see, you're bringing all the cool kids over. I love it.
Yes, I am.
That's amazing.
What's the name of your channel on YouTube? Just so I can get up the comments.
Off the Blockchain with Stevie-Jane Aucoin. Yeah. So like the etymology of my name actually means monetary success.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
Like that's my goal here. It's like live up to my namesake and see if I can make that happen.
Oh, you will. That's not a coincidence that that's your name.
Right? I'm like, whoa, that's cool.
Yeah.
I'm like,
names are important and they have meanings. Like once you, as a spiritual thing actually, but like you're given a name when you're born and things like that. But like there's a, like finding an identity that you kind of vibe with and gel with, that's your own thing as well. Like that gives you power, and it gives you power in a way that's like, it's hard to explain, but it's like you're owning this like element of your identity, and you're like, oh, okay, I can do that. I am that thing. I'm gonna be that thing,
Absolutely, like manifesting who you like imagine yourself as.
Yeah, that like big vibes in that. Yep, absolutely.
I love that. Yeah, names are super powerful, and I'm actually realizing, like, in my few months into cryptocurrency, how emotional it is. Like emotionally tied it is investing. Oh my god, I had no idea. That is just something I never really thought about. And then also how big astrology is in cryptocurrency. That is a huge
there's a lot
surprise
of things that
to
tie
me.
in together. Yeah. But like spirituality is big as well, because
I'm just like on this roller coaster.
Yes, yeah. Spirituality is a big thing too, because you very accurately just said there, like this is all emotional, right? So like psychology, spirituality, numerology, astrology, they're all weirdly tied into this thing in strange ways. But I think like the mentality thing is the biggest. Like when we started talking about things like knowing where you want to end up, well, that's a decision that comes out of here. Like you have to have a vision for like what your future, what you want your future to be, basically. And then, you need to kind of know how to get there as well. You just reverse engineer things. But like getting your mind right in this space is so important. Like if you think about like just what a price chart looks like, right? It goes up, it goes down, it goes sideways, it goes, that's literally a chart of like human emotions.
Yeah.
Like it's
totally.
literally human emotions, like charted on a chart. What happens is like people get bullish and everyone's like, yeah, we're gonna be bullish, and then someone dumps that, and then yeah, and then they're like, oh my god, we gotta get out now. So like everyone's like just starts dumping, and the chart goes down. And it's you very well described. It's an emotional roller coaster. Like it like, oh, we're all bullish. Oh, we're all bearish. Oh, we're all like, like.
Right? Yeah. And like, I feel like people are going against their better judgment in some of these calls because like they just see other people doing it. It's like, whoa, take a breath, calm down, see what's happening first.
Absolutely. That's why I don't do TA.
Yeah.
Because
I feel like I've already learned so much in this 35 minutes. This is amazing.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. That's why I don't focus too much on the lines and the charting and all that kind of thing, because the human element of the charts that like it doesn't really show up on the charts, but like there's this human emotional component to how the price moves, and it got like if everyone's feeling bullish, obviously we're going to go up. It like if the other factors are right too, but if everyone's scared and they're dumping and they're selling, like you can't really predict where things are going to go because of the emotional component. You can't predict the emotional component side of things. You can do that, like the price levels and the, all that kind of thing, and technically where the price should be. But then if you get someone that comes in and they've had a bad day and they have a giant bag of thing and they're just like, oh man, I'm going to dump this thing today. It's like, oh, okay, there goes all my technical analysis out the window because this guy just dumped a giant bag.
Fuck you guys, I'm going home.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm done. Crypto's done forever. I just dump everything, like, and you can't predict that and you can't know that. So the best strategy is get a big bag right at the beginning of something and just hold it for as long as you possibly can, really. And then sell, at the points where you've said to yourself, okay, I'm happy to sell here. And then you just sell. And then when you want to buy back in, you set that level too, and you go, okay, I'm going to buy back in. People like overcomplicate it and they get weirdly emotional about things. And then once you're in that space of like, you're already under the control of your emotions, you've already lost, basically. You've lost. You don't have control over your mind. You're just going into like fear and uncertainty and doubt, and then you're not in control anymore. So getting your mentality right is just huge in this space. Absolutely huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm having a little bit internet issues here. It says my connection is unstable. Can you hear me okay? Am I breaking up for you at all?
I can hear you okay. Your pitch is a little bit frozen sometimes on my end, but I've got the audio to go off, so it doesn't really matter too much.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it was a little bit broken up there, but I was still able to make out most of what you said. I think we can do
it. Okay. Can you hear everything that I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. And I like it. It sucks so bad because like Canada already has like terrible internet packages. It's just the worst.
Oh god.
And and then where I live is just like this super old building, like next to an escarpment. So like it's not great. It's not great. In another 2 weeks, I'll be in Florida and loving life again. So
oh wow, that's awesome. You're moving?
Yeah. Pardon?
Are you moving?
Yeah. Yes.
Lovely. Nice.
I'm super excited.
So from Canada to Florida?
Yeah. Yeah, I have a little sister who lives down there. She's been there for like 7 or 8 years. And she like just had another baby. So she has a 3-year-old and a 7-week-old. So I'm gonna go down there and hang out with them. And and then I gotta talk to an immigration lawyer because I gotta survive somehow.
Yeah, absolutely.
They still consider making YouTube content as working, and I'm like, really? No, like I'm technically not getting paid. Like no one's paying me for my time. But I don't want to get banned from the States, so I'll just follow whatever they tell me to do.
Yeah, that's all you can do, really.
Yeah. So what's it like in Australia right now?
Everywhere's a bit weird, honestly, but I just ignore kind of everything that's going on and just focus on what I want to do. Like the governments are weird everywhere at the minute, and you can kind of like get you can get like sucked into all of that weirdness, and you can be like, oh, everything's doom and gloom and all that kind of thing. But like they can say whatever they want. They
losing you again.
Oh no, I'm still here and I can still hear you, so I'll just keep going. Yeah, they're a bit weird, but like I don't let it affect me, like I just put my head down, do my thing, and enjoy life.